We live, y'all. Wow. It's a lot going on with this already. So what I'm hearing is that the father of Austin is here at the press conference for Karmelo and his family, and they've asked him to leave, but he's still there. Let me take it back to see what she said. Wait, let me do this first. Welcome in, everybody. Please smack the thumbs up as y'all come in. So it might be a little hold up on this.
Because Metcalf's father has arrived to this. And I want to point out the track meet earlier this month. Actually, if you are just joining us now on WFA Plus, I just want to bring you back into what you're looking at there on your screen. This is the Next Generation Action Network office in Dallas. This is a group that has been advocating for Karmelo Anthony and his family. For those not familiar with this case, Karmelo Anthony is a Frisco ISD student who is accused of stabbing and killing another student at a track meet earlier this month. Actually, yesterday marked 2 weeks since this happened, and he is charged with murder in this case. Today, for the first time, we are expecting to hear from Anthony's parents. The president of the Next Gen Action Network says that the parents are wanting to address what they call falsehoods in this case, as it has garnered a lot of attention on social media, a lot of conversation and speculation about what led up to this. And I want to point out, if you look there on your screen, it's kind of hard to see, but right behind the camera that you see, there's a gentleman, you can kind of see his arm in a blue shirt. We are told that that is Austin Metcalf's father. Austin Metcalf is the teenager who was killed at this track meet 2 weeks ago. We have heard from Metcalf's father. We have heard from Metcalf's twin brother, actually, and we just learned that the reason that this press conference is delayed, it was supposed to start at 11, is because Metcalf's father has arrived here. He's standing there behind that camera. He has sunglasses on. We've been watching him stand there for a few minutes, not really talking to anyone. We're not sure if there's been any engagement between Metcalf and Anthony's parents. We're not sure if there's been any confrontation of any kind. We just know that he has come into the building, that he is standing there, standing by with the rest of the media who's in the room to hear this press conference. For those who are still, really following this case, you may know that earlier this week on Monday, Anthony was actually released from jail in Collin County after a judge lowered his bond. His bond was initially set at $1 million. That judge lowered it to $250,000, allowing for Anthony to be at home with an ankle monitor. So this is kind of the first thing that's happened since that bond hearing. His father testified at that hearing. But again, today we're expected to hear from perhaps both of his parents, who are going to address the media and actually make a public comment for the first time in this incident. Again, if you are just tuning in now, Austin Metcalf's father, the victim in this situation, his father is actually standing by in this room. It's unclear if he was expected to be here. We're assuming not, being so that this is kind of a reason for this delay in this press conference. But again, we're just standing by in the room. Media is prepared to hear what the Anthony family has to say. And we do have some new information that just came into our newsroom just a few seconds ago. Apparently, Mr. Metcalf, Austin Metcalf's father, who we just pointed out is in this room, has actually been asked to leave the press conference. This is a press conference where Karmelo Anthony's parents are expected to speak. Apparently, Metcalf's father has been asked to leave. As you can see, or saw a few seconds ago, he is still standing in the room. So apparently, we are being told that Dallas police have been called to this location after Metcalf's father has refused to leave. We're standing by and waiting to see what comes of this. But if you are just tuning in, Austin Metcalf's father, the victim in the stabbing at the Frisco track meet a couple of weeks ago is in the room, standing by with everyone else as Karmelo Anthony's parents are expected to speak, and he has been asked to leave. And sorry, you see me nodding here. I'm getting more information. I'm from our producers as we stand by on this. We're trying to get more information on whether or not this is a violation of a court order. Obviously, earlier this week, there was a bond hearing in this case. This case has gotten a lot of attention. It's been very contentious. So we're trying to get more information on whether or not there was a no contact order put in place, and if Austin Metcalf's father being in this room is a violation of that court order. Being so, that Karmelo Anthony's parents are expected to speak here as well. As soon as we have confirmation on that, we'll let you know. But just to recap this quickly, Austin Metcalf's father is in the room at this press conference that was scheduled and made public, that Karmelo Anthony's parents were going to speak, and he has arrived. He has been asked to leave. He is still standing in the room, and we are being told that Dallas police have been called in this situation. We're going to keep you posted on that and keep standing by as we wait for the press conference to start to see what happens with Mr. Metcalf being in the room. And we'll just leave you here with a look at the room, and we'll update you with new information as we get it. Is actually not in the building. So at this point, it doesn't seem that this would be a violation of a court order. So it's still a bit unclear what the delay is here. Perhaps him just being there is the reason. Okay, we just received information that the Next Generation Action Network, which is the advocacy group that is actually hosting this press conference, has said that they will not start this press conference until Jeff Metcalf leaves this office. So and I'm just getting more and more information about this from our crew that's at the scene here. We're being told that there are no uniformed officers who are on the property at this time. Next Generation Action Network says they have plainclothes officers there, but Dallas police have been called to come here because Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, has arrived here, and the advocacy group that is, really hosting this press conference says that they will not start the press conference while he is in the room. So we are just standing by. Seems to be a bit of a stalemate at this time. Again, he has been asked to leave. Obviously, he's still standing there. So it's unclear what the resolution will be here. We will keep you updated. We're going to stay here until we see what happens here, and we'll update you. And we just panned in the room there. We're taking a look at the podium at the office. This is where we're assuming when there is a press conference, if there's a press conference, this is where they will be. But what we were looking at, if we're able to pan back, I'll point out to you Jeff Metcalf, who has arrived at this scene, who is the father of the teenager who was killed almost exactly 2 weeks ago at a track meet. Again, this press conference, there he is right there. Those are photos of him standing in the room, again, with sunglasses on, just standing there. He was asked to leave. He said no. He's still standing here. This was a press conference where Karmelo Anthony, the teenager who was accused of committing this offense, his parents were going to address the media for the very first time. And the Next Generation Action Network said that the purpose of this press conference was for them to tell their truth. They feel that there has been misinformation in this case. They feel that there have been what was called a wave of falsehoods in this case. So the purpose of this morning's press conference was for them to essentially set the record straight from their point of view. It seems as if they were not expecting for Mr. Metcalf to be here. They said they are not going to speak until he leaves. Now, what we haven't seen is really any confrontation, really any interaction from Mr. Metcalf since he's arrived.
Welcome in, BFF.
Made contact, if they've spoken or anything like that. The only thing we know at this point is that there seems to be a stalemate here with the family saying that they're not going to speak until he leaves, and being asked to leave and choosing not to. So we're going to keep our shot up in this room so you can kind of keep an eye on what's going on. And as soon as we have more information about what comes next, we'll let you know.
So here's what I'm feeling about this. I feel like it's an intimidation tactic, and it's almost, why? This is no different than what they saying Anthony did. You in a place that you're not welcome, right? So they asked him to leave. It should be
What you're
considered
looking at now, these are
trespassing.
some still photos that came from the field of the father of Austin Metcalf, the teenager that was stabbed and killed at a track meet 2 weeks ago. This
That's
is him
crazy
in
to
the
me.
room, standing with media. If you're just joining us, just going to walk you back through this case. Want to make sure that everyone's familiar with the details of it. Yesterday marked 2 weeks since a student stabbed and killed another student at a track meet, Frisco ISD students, in a case that has really just sparked so much conversation, so much debate on social media, online, not just in North Texas, but really all over, with so many questions about how this started, what led up to this, and tragedy, really, for both families. So, for the first time today, there was a press conference that was scheduled to be held by the Next Generation Action Network in Dallas, where the parents of Karmelo Anthony, who is the student who was accused of stabbing the student who passed away, he is facing a murder charge. His parents were going to speak and address the media and set the record straight from their point of view. Of course, that has not started yet. Unexpectedly, the father of the teen who was killed, Jeff Metcalf, father of Austin Metcalf, has shown up and is standing in the room. So that's kind of where we're standing with that right now. Just want to walk you through some updates in this case as we're waiting on. Sorry, I'm getting more updates from our producer now. So we're standing by. Jobin Penniker is actually in the room here. He's the one who is sending these photos. He's been covering this case, and he's actually at the Next Gen office with this. So we're standing by for a live update from him inside of the room. But if you are just joining.
What are we doing? What the heck? Why did that just go off? Let's do this and this. Hold on, y'all. So what I'm feeling with this is that his family, they got a chance to speak, and the Anthony family was nowhere around. I don't think that this is fair at all, that he's standing there and it's an intimidation tactic. Why would you want to be there in the same room with them when all of this stuff is going on? And as I was saying, it's no different than what they was accusing Anthony of. You're in a space that you're not welcome, and you shouldn't be here because this is meant to escalate things. And you don't know what he might have. I didn't hear them say anything about he was checked for weapons or anything. To me, this is an intimidation tactic. I understand that he lost his child, but you shouldn't be there. That's their time, their space. They've done how many interviews, and we've heard their side of the story. I do too, Jose. I feel bad. I wish it wouldn't have never happened. They had a whole life ahead of them. But right now, this father is being intimidating, and it's like almost like a bully. It is like a bully. Because the reason why I say that is because they've decided that they not coming because he's there, which means he's intimidating to them, and perhaps that's maybe how he felt. That maybe that's what he wants to do. So he's setting the tone. That's what he's doing right now. And so people are going to be picking him apart even more because people are already picking him apart. Allegedly, he got an SO background. I don't know how true that is, but I don't like what he's doing right now. It's not okay.
Jeff Metcalf leave because there's
not
according to Next Generation, they are not going to have both families here in the same location at the same time. They said there's a court order that says that.
See?
We've been looking through some of our documents. I don't think there's anything that says that per se. Now there is some language that says Karmelo Anthony cannot have any connection with the Metcalf family in any way. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on here.
What's going on with this thing?
Still a very fluid situation. Again, a delay here. It's supposed to start at 11 o'clock. It is now after 11:30. We'll see what ends up precipitating here.
But I guess it's good.
Obviously very heightened when you have this situation in both families in the same room when they haven't had this before. So that is understandable. Okay, well, listen, we'll check back in with you. We know you're talking to people, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Let's go back because he's talking to people. Now, this is crazy to me, y'all. I got to do a poll to see what y'all think. I think this is totally uncalled for him to do this, and it actually make him look like a bully, like they accusing his son of being.
Stabbing and killing
That's
another
crazy,
student,
man.
Both Frisco ISD.
Wait.
person go up and try to speak with him. He doesn't really seem to be interacting. These are still photos, but when we were watching the video, he didn't really seem to be interacting with anyone. He's kind of standing in the back of the room just waiting.
I don't know why they put it on video. Let us see what's going on. I mean, on a photo.
Austin Metcalf's father being in the room, and Anthony's parents saying they're not going to speak till he leaves.
They're not supposed to be in the same room.
To give us an update live as well.
This is crazy. This is bad behavior. You ask me. What are we doing here? This is wild.
All right. Well, we are being told that Jobin Puneker is going to be available in just a little bit. So until he is, just want to give you a quick update in this case. You know, earlier this week, actually on Monday, Anthony was released from jail after his bond was lowered. So he is able to be at home. We're told he's not actually at this press conference right now. His parents are expected to speak, and we are hoping to get an update from them.
No, he shouldn't actually. That's why he's being asked to leave.
And again, Jobin Puneker is actually
he actually shouldn't. He wouldn't be asked to leave if he should be there. It's a bullying tactic. He's above the law. And the law ain't got there yet. What they waiting on? I don't know. I see what's going on, I guess.
Yeah, that press conference was supposed to start here at 11 o'clock. We're here in downtown Dallas. This press conference was facilitated by Next Generation Action Network, a Dallas-based advocacy group, speaking on behalf of the Karmelo Anthony family. You know, over the last 2 weeks, we've been getting press statements from them. This was the opportunity to hear from them for the first time. We're now hearing from Dominique Alexander with Next Generation that this press conference has been delayed.
Yeah, I don't agree at all,
Mark.
Who's
one of our photographers,
Not
go out, show you a lot of the people here still waiting for this press conference to happen. The reason for this delay is because Austin Metcalf's father is here, Jeff Metcalf. As you know, Karmelo Anthony was arrested, charged with murder in the death of Austin Metcalf. Police say Metcalf was stabbed with a knife at a track meet in Frisco. You see there a picture of Jeff Metcalf. He is on his phone. Had a chance to talk with somebody there with Next Generation Action Network. They tell us they've asked Jeff Metcalf to leave. He said no. They said they were going to call DPD to remedy the situation, have Jeff Metcalf leave, because there's, according to Next Generation, they are not going to have both families here in the same location at the same time. They said there's a court order that says that. We've been looking through some of our documents. I don't think there's anything that says that per se. Now there is some language that says Karmelo Anthony cannot have any connection with the Metcalf family in any way.
And there it
is. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on here. Still a very fluid situation. Again, a delay here. It's supposed to start at 11 o'clock. It is now after 11:30. We'll see what.
But I guess he said it that way because I guess Karmelo ain't gonna be there because he on house arrest and he gonna be at home. So I'm guessing it's just his parents. But that's still intimidating, and I wouldn't show up either if I was them. And I wouldn't. Matter of fact, we'd do this on Zoom. I'd be in my location, y'all be on y'all's. Because this is crazy. Like, are we going to make it to court, or are we going to do this?
Ends up precipitating here.
Obviously very heightened when you have this situation and both families in the same room when they haven't had this before. So that is understandable. Okay, well, listen, we'll check back in with you. We know you're talking to people, and we'll get to the bottom of it. Thank you so much, Jobin.
Okay. No.
Okay, so you don't miss any.
Okay.
You just heard from Jobin Puneker, who is actually live at the Next Gen Action Network office in Dallas. And if you're curious at all about how Jeff Metcalf was able to get in there, just if you've never been there, they actually have an office in a co-working space. So there are other offices in that building as well. So that's probably how he was able to easily get into there.
Jose, you can watch it on TV.
The family says they're not going to speak while he's there. Next Generation says they don't want both families in the same place. Now, earlier this week on Monday, there was a bond hearing held, and that's where a judge actually lowered Anthony's bond from $1 million to $250,000. We actually went to some in-depth conversation in a special that we produced just on this issue to help walk you through this with some of our reporters who have actually been covering this extensively. And I want to give you a look at that while we wait for an update in this situation.
What are we doing here?
Thanks for joining us here on WFA Plus. I'm Chris Sadeghi, and we are going to take you inside the hearing, the bond hearing for Karmelo Anthony that happened on Monday morning. There's a lot of public interest on this case. There were no cameras allowed.
So let me see. What are y'all feeling about this? I have not seen the bond hearing. If they're gonna show us anything, they just said no cameras allowed. But so let's see, what are y'all saying? Kathy says, so the father of the victim isn't allowed to watch. Why not? The Anthonys are just as bad as BLM using the money for personal needs. I don't know. Do you know that to be fact? I don't. I know that I heard this family had money prior to that, but the father shouldn't be there because it's a bully. It's intimidating. It's a bullying tactic, and it's similar to what they're saying that Anthony was doing. He was in a space that he shouldn't have been there. This is not his press conference. They've spoke several times. I'm talking about the news came to them, and they also, y'all worried so much about their funds. What about the family having two separate GoFundMes? The mom and the dad has one. I'm finding out that I didn't know on my last one. Do you have a problem with that, Kathy? They have one son with two GoFundMes. Last time I checked, one had almost 300,000 and another one over 100,000. Do they need to be poor to collect funds? I'm just saying. Why should the law work any different? I'm not understanding that. But back to the topic, the father shouldn't be there because it's not his press conference, and they've spoken so many times. We've heard their side of the story. We want to hear the Anthony side of the story. They have that right? It's the law. You post bond, you get out. You have your day in court. They decide, the jury decides, right? Okay. That's what I thought. I'm sure that you would want to be there. I wouldn't want to be there because I would want to possibly do something, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you would lose it. Why do you think it's a good idea to be there with that parent, with that family talking about their son? Are they not allowed to defend their son? We got to remember that what is being said is that it was self-defense and wasn't none of us there. So we really don't know, right? We ain't seen no videos. We ain't seen nothing. But what we do have this. Let me see. Because one thing, with all of the family interviews, one thing that, hold on. We got action.
Of this bond hearing, some of the things we've talked about, the public interest.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
The gentleman that you just saw there on your screen at the podium is Dominique Alexander. He is the president of the Next Generation Action Network. This is the advocacy group that is actually hosting a press conference for the parents of Karmelo Anthony. They've been releasing statements for the family.
We get started so we can put some house rules together. If we can swing over here and swing across the wall, we have security that are here in the building. We have a blended of Dallas Police Department and security for the Next Generation Action Network. Let me make this very clear because I say this unapologetically. The Next Generation Action Network has never played with the safety and security of anything. We don't play those type of games, all right? We like to, whenever we're doing a protest or anything, everybody in the media know we don't play when it comes to safety and security. So we're gonna ask one time for it and ask you to slide over just one time. We're not gonna ask anybody something twice, okay? I will make sure that the safety of this family is ensured. It won't happen on my watch. I just want you to know so that you can quote it. If we have to ask more than once, just know that's coming at the direction of me. You can quote me on that. All right?
They all in the comments calling them cowards and saying all this. These people are horrible, I tell you. Oh, I tell you, cowards. That's all I'm saying. bullies is what I'm seeing in the chats. Racist bullies at that, and it's really fucking sad.
You just heard from Dominique Alexander, the president of the Next Gen Action Network. We are expecting to hear from the parents of Karmelo Anthony, the high school student who was accused of stabbing and killing another high school student at a track meet about 2 weeks ago. This press conference was delayed because the father of the student who was killed unexpectedly arrived at the press conference. Originally, the Next Gen Action Network said that the press conference would not go on as long as Mr. Metcalf, Jeff Metcalf, was in the room. It's unclear. I'm trying to get information about if he is still there, how that was resolved. But the president of this organization says that they are starting here in a few minutes. If you did hear what he just said, if you didn't, we'll recap you quickly. Alexander was very clear and did not mince words about security at this event. He said that there are DPD officers as well as private security in the premises. They are here. He said he was very, very clear in saying that they were only going to ask once for safety precautions to be taken. And he said, that is their big priority with this press conference. Again, unclear if Mr. Metcalf is still in the room. If you are just joining us, this is a case that has created so much speculation over the past 2 weeks. You have one family whose child was accused of murder for stabbing another student, and another family who is mourning the loss of their son. And today we are expected to hear from the parents of the child who has been accused. To get their side of the story. The group that's advocating for them says that they want to set the record straight. We're getting an update now on whether or not Mr. Metcalf is still in the room. So we've just learned that Mr. Metcalf, Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, the teen who was killed, has left the premises. I mentioned to you a few moments ago, the Next Gen Action Network's office is actually inside of a co-working space. The owner of that co-working space asked Mr. Metcalf to leave, saying that he was trespassing, and we are told that Mr. Metcalf has left. Dominique Alexander, the president of the organization hosting this press conference, says they are expected to start in a few minutes. No word yet on any interaction that happened between Metcalf and the Anthony family, between Next Gen Generation Action Network. We are told that a representative did ask him to leave initially, and he said no. But we are, again, being told that the owner of this space said that he was trespassing and asked him to leave. So we're seeing different people come up to the podium, check audio levels. That is standard for a press conference like this. We were told by the group hosting this that it will start in a few minutes. And we, again, are expecting to hear for the first time addressing the media, the Anthony family, to get their perspective, their thoughts, setting the record straight, addressing what they call falsehoods in this case, as so many people have been discussing it. As their son is accused of murder in this case. So we will keep an eye on this, update you with any information as we get it, and listen in whenever we can.
So the father is above the law. Somebody asks you to leave and you say no. Like, they asked Karmelo to leave and he was supposed to just leave. See how it's like, boy, I tell you, look at this mess. I understand that the man is grieving, but that's a different way of grieving, right? You know anybody that grieve like that? I wouldn't want to be nowhere around, because I would be so emotional that I would be afraid what I might do or what I might say. You don't know if this guy got a weapon. You don't know if it's a weapon tucked into that thing he got on his arm. You don't know if it is a weapon. Like, that's intimidating for him to do that, and he know what he's doing. And why are we so worried about what they doing with the money? Like, what is this family gonna be doing with the money? Both families had a right to collect funds if people want to support them. Why y'all worried about it? Is it your money? The family isn't using the money. It takes weeks to get any money from any GoFund or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, they talking about because it was a new car, and you know what? As a matter of fact, a lot of this exposure. Daily Mail did an article talking about it was a new car in the driveway with tags and all of this stuff. Do y'all think they went and bought the car afterwards, or was the car already there? This argument is insane. He unalived the kid in school. Oh, it wasn't in school. It was at a track meet outside on bleachers, and it's said to be self-defense. The argument is that his father should not be there. They had a chance to speak, and the Anthony family wasn't there, and they shot. So he was asked to leave. Right. It's really not an argument. It's just me stating that that this family has the right to ask him to leave, and he should have never came. It's a bullying tactic that his son must have learned from him. You get it now? Yeah, people just these people is just irate. Like, even the people in the neighborhood, like Daily Mail put them on blast on purpose, out there for hours talking to these people. Let me go to that article while we got time today. Like, this is ridiculous. They mad. They put up the house that they staying in, talking about is $900,000, and why do they need a fundraiser? They cried, broke in court, and all this stuff. Like, what are we talking about, man?
All right, guys and girls, about
what in the hell?
A minute. Sorry for the wait, you know.
Meanwhile, it's an active shooter on campus. What the hell? Right now. What's in the water? What's in the vax? Relax. God dang, what the hell? That's definitely an assumption, though, and that's dangerous. No, that's what Anthony said. And if we want to go by what the twin brother said, he said both. He said they walked up to him and told him to move. Then he said that they were sitting down or something, and somebody was mouthing off. So how do your story change? Like, I go by evidence, and mostly what's coming out of the people's mouths that's involved. You wasn't there, I wasn't there, but I'm going by what came out of his mouth. Matter of fact, do I still have that in here? Let's see if you can hear that he changed his story.
And what happened? There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack. We come back, we sit down, and this kid said something behind me. I've never met this kid in my entire life, never knew who he was. Said something just inappropriate and uncalled for. And I turned around and asked him who he was. He started getting really aggressive. And this kid said something behind me. I've never met this kid in my entire life, never knew who he was. Said something just inappropriate and uncalled for. And what happened? There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent.
All right, let's see if they changed anything yet. Hold on now. Oh, that's the active. All right, I'm looking at the wrong channel. All right, let's do this. But yeah, I'm not about to let y'all drive me crazy. Y'all feel the way y'all feel. I got the poll out there. This is the first time I've seen this, and I have seen many press conferences. So right now we got, okay, the votes are going up. Right now we have 50-50, yes and no. And then, so the question is, should the father be there? Yes at 50%, no at 50%, and I would be there at 0%, okay? It's at 0% because it's not a good idea to be there. And it's not a good idea to stay when you've been asked to leave by the people that own the building.
Check, test 1 2, mic check.
Unlike
mic
that
check,
tent,
test 1 2.
That's a little bit different.
Thank you.
Whose tent was it? Who put it up? Why did he feel the need to come over there and say that to him? Why was they aggressive with him? Why did they choose him? The witness that spoke said that his daughter was under the same tent. So I'm thinking that their daughter didn't get chose. So maybe he got picked. Why? Because he was a rival, or they just didn't like him. I don't know. It's so unfortunate that it happened, but his dad don't need to be here. He shouldn't be here. I don't know why he thought it was a good idea to be here. What the hell are we doing here? Let me go. They was about to say something. Let's see.
Jeff Metcalf, the gentleman who was wearing the sunglasses and the blue shirt, who's being escorted out, is the father of.
So he got to be
Austin
escorted
Metcalf,
out.
who was the teenager who was stabbed and killed in a tragedy 2 weeks ago. He is being asked to leave, escorted out of a press conference that is being held where the parents of the child
you shouldn't be there, sir.
Metcalf's child are expected to speak.
He wanted to cause this ruckus.
Who was asked to leave. That press conference is starting now.
Look at that mess.
Anthony's family.
Ghetto ass shit, if you ask me. It's crazy. And then people calling them cowards. Now, if they came in there crazy, then what? They'd be called ghetto. Like, what do you want? Like, knock it off.
Okay, I'm going to spread this across, y'all, before I get started.
God dang. He definitely was making a statement. It was a purpose for that, and he knew that he shouldn't be there.
Any one of your cameras are...
I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. Now they can't even get focused on what they came for. Like, what? What was we talking about?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. We all good? We all good?
We good?
Okay.
What?
All right.
WR
I want
can
to
never
start
win.
off this press conference.
Or we can never win.
To say something as a deep note. A deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
It really is. See, look how
Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case.
Threats.
It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what going on, that was disrespectful.
That's hell.
Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a Black man, as a father, as a protector, community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund.
Thank you.
From the very
they so
beginning,
worried about this money.
There was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Karmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go. Let's be clear. The family has not received one dime.
See? Ding, ding,
Any
ding,
of the
ding,
media
ding.
could have verified this.
They didn't want
But we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family. $800,000 home,
this family just
purchase
speaking for the first
Escalade,
time. They got the
and
right
private
to do that.
security. Let me
They
make this
need to
very
defend
clear. The
themselves.
Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Karmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative. The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process.
So that was
But if
their money.
anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit
That's what it's
any
looking like,
account.
PFF.
But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving
donating
to the fund.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, Give, Send, Go, everybody in the media, in these news outlets that I've never heard before could have did the same thing.
Hit the thumbs up.
When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed.
Let's get to 100.
Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraudulent.
Wow. Wow. Look at that. See that? Thanks for clearing that up, because I didn't know that. I was confused about the GoFundMe. So they didn't have a GoFundMe. So who's the fraud person that set it up? They need to start getting in trouble, these people. Did he break
all of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud. Okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to $11,000.
Wow.
So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Karmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the family and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense. Okay? Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety.
We see it.
People have sat outside their house,
wow,
sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Karmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country
2025 burning crosses. That's what we.
But let me say this loud and clear.
Period.
We are not scared.
Me off this kind of stuff.
We are not moving.
Can't stand.
We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people.
Welcome in, Angela.
We will not ask
what these people doing
for permission to stand up for the rights of our children.
Bully.
The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Karmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times. We didn't just rush. We have had these conversations over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Karmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities.
Welcome in, Sharon.
But Karmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate, okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Karmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation.
Wow.
That just shows me that Frisco ISD
Judge, jury, and execution
is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children,
sickening.
You are
sickening.
Responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Karmelo Anthony. Okay? So in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing.
They should.
You do not have to get involved in this situation. But it seems that even with us going and meeting,
they gonna do whatever,
or having conversations, they have made their mind up.
That, baby.
And we want to make sure that the
Better believe it.
The record, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the fourth, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent, I know you know this is all law, is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to. Okay? So make it clear. Go back, confirm with Frisco Police Department. Go back, confirm with the district attorney. Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop. We can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN inbox.
People losing their mind,
do this,
y'all.
all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you, okay? So I'm telling the world, everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody, unless you want to be sued. You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds name, the law of this land tells you what will going to happen to you. Okay? So don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the Black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years. She put herself through school, she raised her family, she did everything. I'm a registered Democrat, proud. I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee. I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist is just downright. The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed a Tatiana Jefferson, Karmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Judge in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver can get a $250,000 bond after he kills Jordan Edwards, all white officers, Why couldn't Karmelo Anthony be entitled, a child with no background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home? Please help me understand. Make this make sense. It's consistency. It's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this, okay? Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be as separate from the legal process, because we want to make sure that Karmelo Anthony's due process, this is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So, under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet, because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know, I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You ain't gotta inbox me. You ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony.
You already know.
I don't have to prove anything to nobody.
This is crazy,
I
man.
am a proven testimony standing here.
What are we doing here?
That God, even when you make mistakes, God is not finished with your story.
Rumors, AT.
I'm going to bring this mother, Kayla Hayes, and it has taken her a lot of strength, y'all, to come and do this today. And I want you guys to respect her as she read this, and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas, searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what might happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our
Can y'all hear me? Mic check. Let me know if y'all can hear me or not. Mic check, mic check. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. Because I don't know. It said my mic went out. Okay, sorry. Thank you, BFF. She should be shut down if she lied and causing being a terrorist. Yep. Thank you, Empress. Wait, y'all can't hear me? Wait a minute. Am I on the wrong screen or what? Hold on. Can y'all hear me now? Let me know, BFF, if y'all can hear me. Mic check, mic check. Okay, you can hear me? Let's see. Mic check, mic check. Oh, you can't hear them. Okay. Let me close this and come back up. Can y'all hear me? That's crazy. As soon as I did that. Hold on, y'all. Now let me try it again. I'm gonna just close everything. My bad, y'all. I don't know what the heck is going on. But we gonna pull it right back up. It did warn me that the mic was doing something.
I will not ask this mother to do this again. The attorney will not. We won't do this again. Don't ask. We will see you at trial. Whatever venue.
Hold on. Let's go back.
They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop. We can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN inbox. Do this, all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you, okay? So I'm telling the world, everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. Political operatives motivating this family with hate. Karmelo Anthony posted on something that shows, posted here. These are the type of lies that are
cut on our speaking,
threatening this family.
Hold on, let me go back to the mom thing.
Posting the family's picture. I've been in this thing for 11 years.
Because she's fearful of what may happen to her.
Talking about her daughter. I don't
and
know.
Thing to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and
respect her as she read this.
We just
and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
You're welcome. Thanks, Kelly.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Y'all, I'm going to show something up of a post. You come for me, I come for you. Sarah Fields. Never heard of this woman. This is the kind of despicable things that led to the father being here. Political operatives motivating this family with hate. Karmelo Anthony posted on something that shows, posted here. These are the type of lies that are threatening this family. Posting the family's picture. These are the type of lies. She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah, she's even came after me. She's even said all of those things. And now that the public knows exactly what is going on, I ask, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Cal Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penna, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Cal Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back. We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody said anything. So since they tried to come for us, I call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never be divided. And I'm going to say this again, and this is for everybody. Black people in America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, Black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to. We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a Black man in America. And what y'all just showed to Judge Tucker is just reminded that hate and bigotry and racial reconciliation in this country, we have respected the process. I believe that Austin Metcalf is about to have his funeral. And I wouldn't dare, even with the information I know, and plenty of people can share that and all that, but we have prevented from speaking about that in these type of public forums. It will come out. They have a more than well capable attorney, and this family will go through a process of being able to get prepared for this trial. So I just say this real quick. This is our final time speaking to public and holding a press conference regarding this particular case. Now, the Next Generation Action Network will talk about Frisco ISD, but we will not do this. I will not ask this mother to do this again. The attorney will not. We won't do this again. Don't ask. We will see you at trial. Whatever venue that is, we will see you there. I stand 10 toes down supporting this family. And I want to thank all of the community leaders and people that I have seen that have came here today. Bishops and pastors and clergy, community leaders with respectability in this community. I see them today, and I want to thank them for their presence because this family needs strength right now. Thank you, and God bless you.
Wow, that was a lot. So I want to see what the majority feels like in the chat right now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Please smack that thumbs up. How do y'all feel about that? I mean, to me, it's like, it's not fair at all what the family is going through. And I see that people in this chat feel like Karmelo deserves a fair trial. Does he deserve a fair trial? We have only 35 votes so far. 57% says yes, 14% says no, and of course he does at 28%. So with that being said, people shouldn't make their judgment like they are, like going to the family house. I mean, the media is being very biased too in this situation, and the family feels very threatened. Y'all seen them. This is real. This is real. They don't deserve what's happening at all. And I'm happy to see that only 13% says no, he don't deserve a fair trial, and he definitely not getting one with public opinion. It's not okay to smear people and lie and basically put their address out. I'm gonna just read this article that I ran across, and this is Daily Mail actually. This was written yesterday. It was updated yesterday, as a matter of fact. So the headlines say teen unalive Karmelo Anthony received a parade of deliveries at the family's 900K gated community home after crying poor to get out of jail. That's a lot in itself, coming from, news is supposed to be unbiased, but definitely not here. So a Texas teen charged in jabbing of a track star is holed up in an exclusive gated community in a 900K house despite claiming to have limited financial means, as he convinced a judge to release him from jail. Convinced the judge to release him, but that's the law. The bail was at $1 million. They dropped it down. They posted bail. He got out. But this is what they saying. Karmelo, 17, walked free from prison after a controversial decision by the judge to lower his bond for charges of jabbing and unaliving Austin at a track meet on April 2nd. Local cops say a confrontation between Metcalf and Anthony broke out during a high school track meet when Metcalf called out Anthony, who did not attend the same school as Metcalf, for sitting under the team's tent. Metcalf demanded Anthony leave, and the argument escalated when Anthony produced a jab and jabbed the junior from Memorial High School in the chest. Metcalf, he passed away in his brother's arms, and his brother has spoke several times. And so I wonder why he was not arrested. Yeah, the father, he definitely was trespassing. They did not arrest him. And I just heard him say something about the funeral. That's a lot. I thought that they already had the funeral, but Dominique just said something about his funeral, so I don't know if it was before or after his funeral, but that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of emotions coming up in there. And no, yeah, they definitely could have arrested him if they wanted to. Welcome in, Gab. Let no trespassers form no weapon before their family and threshold in Jesus' name. Okay? Why do people ignorant? Why do people always ignorant? Interesting. Look in the mirror, because I'm sure you being funny there, Joseph. Check what you typed before you insult people. I'm not sure who you insulted. So okay, so they said the teenager is now hunkered down in a Frisco home located on Mercedes Drive that his family is renting for an estimated tag of $3,500 a month. And then they put Zillow here that has the whole house, the price tag, how many rooms it is, the whole layout of the house, everything. I'm laughing at you, Gab. So when Daily.com visited the home Tuesday, a white Suburban, a black Acura, and a third sedan were parked in the driveway. So they identifying the vehicles, identifying their home. I'm going to just keep reading. One resident told Daily Mail the family just purchased a new vehicle. That's where that came from. And then he got a new car. This is somebody talking. If you look at the license plate, it's got a paper tag, and it says it expires June 4th. The resident who asked to remain anonymous shared. The lavish lifestyle is in stark contrast to the cash struggles Anthony's father, Andrew Anthony, claimed to have in court on Monday, where the parents claim he was the sole breadwinner. Okay, we did hear that he was the breadwinner, but I didn't hear that they was Poe or claiming Poe, and I heard them say that they haven't got a dime from that GoFundMe, yet their son is out on a $250K bond. I heard that they do well for themselves and stuff, but this is quite disturbing, because it's like I'm reading a Facebook post or something, you know? Like, it says the lavish lifestyle is in stark contrast to the cash struggles. Okay, so prosecutor grilled Anthony over why he could not use the more than $439K on Tuesday night in donation funds for his son's defense to pay the $1 million bond. It shouldn't be that high. Andrew told the court that he has no access to the donated funds, and instead of plan to use the money for his son's legal defense. Yeah, that self-defense don't work. It, as I'm reading, made me think of a case, and I brought it up before. Advoca Owens and Susan Lorenz. Susan was dead damn wrong. She had produced all this stuff that happened, and she set it up so she could fire her weapon through that door, unaliving Advoca. And I think I'm saying her name, or am I? AJ Owens, okay, but it's Advoca, AJIKE, fired through the door. That woman, she didn't get arrested. They had to make sure, they had to see if it was self-defense first before they arrested her. I remember that. Was that in Florida? Just made me think about that. But, you know, the public has already made their decision. And one thing for sure, two for certain, no matter where they go, people gonna know who they are. People would probably turn them away in business and all kind of stuff. I'm just saying, we going backwards. That's what I'm looking at. So, Andrew told the court that he has no access to the donated funds and instead planned to use the money for his son's legal defense. Many of the family's neighbors didn't know the Anthonys lived among them until Karmelo came home from jail on Monday. Yeah, when people was knocking at their door, what do you think about your neighbor? Karmelo was right next door. So the Richardsons, as exclusive community, is called Richwoods. An exclusive community is located within walking distance of the school, Centennial High School, where Anthony ran track and was the captain of the football team before his arrest. Most residents were not happy the team was there and even expressed fear for their safety. All of a sudden, they are afraid. Now, mind you, this was you know how the news, they'll be like, this is an isolated event. No need for everybody to be worried. We got the bad guy. We got the people. It was only them. No, this person is feeling so afraid that he might come into their house and rob them. Like, why say rob? That ain't what he did. So, anyway, I know I read that somewhere. Let's see. Most residents were not happy the team was there and even expressed their fear for their safety. They got pictures of they got a sky view of where they live. They got a sign of where they live. They got the ass of the DoorDash guy walking through the grass and bushes to deliver pizza. And then they got him coming back out with his bag, probably empty, but I can't tell. They probably shouldn't trust DoorDash or nobody else's Dash. I'm serious. Unless they're using a different name. Not good, not good, someone said. I don't think he should be out. I don't understand why he had a jab. My kids were in track. Your tents for your school, you don't sit under the school's tent. That is not done because everyone leaves their stuff there while they're out on events, the mom says. So why would you jab someone and now he's a few doors down? It's very scary. Like, could he rob houses? I don't know. No one came to the door when dailymail.com attempted to seek comments from the Anthony's family. I wouldn't have came to the door either. It ain't like they friends. Other neighbors learned the family connected to the heinous crime lived near them while speaking to the Daily Mail. The whole reason we live here is because it's gated, he added. This is supposed to be a good neighborhood. These are high-end houses. Not everyone can move in here. I don't know what to say. This is supposed to be safe. That neighbor questioned why Anthony's would be asking the public for donations while maintaining the lifestyle everyone else in the neighborhood has. So they ain't allowed to do donations. They got to be butt po, naked po, to have a fundraiser. Interesting. So throughout the day, deliveries for the Anthonys with Amazon drivers and multiple stops. Look at this. They was here for a long time. So it said around lunchtime, a Domino's pizza order arrived. An adult male left the house around mid-morning with a suitcase and did not return. Was they all there all night? So the Anthony, see, that's probably who was outside their house. They was just talking about, or it could have been somebody else. Ain't no telling. I remember this happened to Melissa. Makes me think about Melissa McKinney. She was a protester during the Mike Brown unaliving, and a lot of those protesters, they got unalived and they was found in the trunk of the cars and, burned, they torched cars and, people there and all of that stuff. And she was a lead protester and they literally told her that they'll push that bullhorn down her throat. They didn't do that. But what they did do was go to her house and she found her son on a tree in her backyard. Because they didn't feel like they had the right to defend Mike Brown. They didn't have the right to protest. And many of them lost life. I think it was like 7 of them. I don't think not one person been arrested. And she said the cops that came to her house was laughing and stuff like that. All kind of stuff. He was talking to friends who went to school under their tent. The Metcalfs are not the tent security, especially with posts like monkeys better not show up at the meet. Now, I did hear about that, but I didn't see it. But thanks for bringing that up because I hadn't talked about that. But yeah, that was allegedly said. And I mean, did you go to his page and see it posted there? I just wonder if it was really there or if it was created. Because I had heard somebody else say, oh, they wasn't like that. They have friends and all this stuff. And the world is making it this. Oh, you saw it. They were holding real GUN. Wow. I know his father said he had just taken him to go hunting and he wanted to do a pig, so that's what he did. They also showed pics of in the car. Now I seen that, but then I played in the part 1 because I just started talking about this yesterday, or day before yesterday, and they said that was fake. So they did some Mythbusters on the news, and I still haven't gotten a chance to dig or nothing. But yep, I heard about that. So they said the man left the house around mid-morning with a suitcase and did not return. So the Anthony's family attorney has said some of the public funds would be used to move and hire additional security as they have received threats. So the best thing they can do is move. One of the neighbors said, I think that would be best for everyone. Yep. Yep. And anybody to find out where they at. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. They don't deserve to go through that. They don't. They son is, he's paying for it. He gotta go to court. These are the laws of the land. This is what's supposed to happen. This is not supposed to be happening. It's not okay. The police did a good job of preserving evidence and collecting evidence for videos or their body cam and pictures and also statements. That's good. I heard they have a lot of footage. They got statements and all of that stuff. And I'm sure it was people recording, People had their phones out. People was already recording, I'm sure, before it even happened. They just turned their phone. I'm surprised there ain't no live videos. Maybe it was and they took them down. I'm not sure. But this is sad. It's unfortunate. They took the phones They took the phones? See. That ain't good. I mean, that's different. That is different. That is different. And it was kids, so it's like, was it a threat? Like if you posted, you could go to jail or be in trouble? I didn't know they took the actual phones. But man, he deserved his day in court. Let me see what y'all saying here on the poll. We got 50. The votes are going up, but we have, does Karmelo deserve a fair trial? 58% says yes, 14% says no, and 29% says of course he does. So that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and end that. And I definitely wanted to come in and see what was going on with this case. We're gonna be following it to the end. I hate that it's going the way that it is, but this is what these type of cases, they always turn into this one. This type of stuff. And I think this is the first time that I'll be following one that's this young and this much racial tension. AT is back. Let me see. Why is it okay for Metcalf to have right. Now that's what I was saying, that for the father to come there and be right there like that was very aggressive. It was an intimidation tactic. It was a bullying tactic, and it was against the law because he was trespassing. He was asked to leave and he said no. So they had their interviews. Nobody interrupted them. They didn't have to leave their house. The news covered everything. I don't think they edited out nothing. You know how they usually give you 2 seconds, usually have something official, a press conference. Nah. So this family couldn't even speak. They had to wait 2 hours before they could talk because of the intimidation. It wasn't right. So why is it okay for the Metcalfs to go to all the news and media and tell their side, but they've only heard their side, not Karmelo's? Yep. And like he said, Dominique, they can't say anything. These are minors, but they was saying a lot. They wasn't supposed to be saying all of that because they're minors. Everything is supposed to be, kept close to the vest. But they got out there and they told their side because that's what they wanted. The person that tell their side first usually has the advantage type of thing. But I haven't even dissected no interviews or nothing like that. But just running across this real quick, and the story changes. So it's not a good thing to talk. It's not. It's actually best to just say nothing. Give yourself time because this was devastating for that other twin. My heart actually goes out to him because I'm not racist for one. And they're kids. they had so much ahead of them. But you know, it would be irritating to know if he was that type of kid, but I haven't seen nothing personally. If he was like that, I don't know. Oh, but one thing that do concern me is that the father was like, oh, you know, he knew exactly what happened, and his son said this, and he's like, I'm mellow. That's how Mello responded back, and that's not what his son said. And then he said it was some choice words said, but he wouldn't say what they were. And I'm wondering, what were they? Were they, you know, hateful words? I just wondered that his father didn't want to say, because that do leave a lot of room to wonder and for people to guess what may have been said. The people is definitely making it that more than anything. And I don't know if they really have proof, but it's messed up. It is messed up how they lied on this family, and they had to get on here to defend themselves, and they didn't do anything wrong. The father had to take a leave of absence. So thank God that they did have the donations, and the other concern being the you know, people were bringing up the family having 2 GoFundMes. The mother and father is not together. Even though the one interview I seen, the mother didn't correct him, but it's like she wanted to, and people pulling up his record, and I don't know if that's true. Being an SO. I mean, I didn't pull it up myself, but yeah, that's what I'm hearing. So it's like, this is getting real, real nasty. It's been nasty. But Karmelo, he deserved his day in court. But doing too much talking will have you doing this, and this, they all should have just remained silent. Everybody wanted to be first to tell they wanted to be first to tell their story. But it can't change. The truth don't change, but lies do.
And what happened? There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, you need to move. And he's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack. We come back, we sit down, and this kid said something behind me. I've never met this kid in my entire life. I never knew who he was. Said something just inappropriate and uncalled for. And I turned around and asked him who he was. He started getting really aggressive. And this kid said something behind me. I've never met this kid in my entire life. I never knew who he was. Said something just inappropriate and uncalled for. And what happened? There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive.
Yeah, so he said 2 different things. Not sure why. Besides, I mean, the truth don't change. But Karmelo deserves his day in court, and the family don't deserve to go through what they going through. I thought he was, is, and they was them. It was. Keep watching and talking. Double standards, no matter what. Yep. From the GoFundMe to everything, like that is crazy to have 2 GoFundMes though. Because what are they saying that they GoFundMe is for? Like, they looking at this family like, you shouldn't have a GoFundMe, but he ain't been convicted of anything yet. And you just heard Dominique say they haven't even indicted him yet. I'm sure it's all coming. Man, my thoughts is going wild. Dang it, emo got me all in my feelings. Everyone was in a different tent because it was raining. Yes, I remember them saying it was pouring down raining, and he was on his phone or something when they approached. And like the twin just said, that they were walking from another location, and they told him to move. When they got over there, he was walking with a group of other guys too. It was a group of other kids and the brother. They walked over from somewhere else, and they told him to move. But then his brother, he said he stepped up and like he always do, he protect. But then the second story was they was already sitting there, and somebody behind them started mouthing off. So that's a big difference from, that's a big difference. It is. And he said that. If y'all didn't catch it, just rewind this back. So I like to go by what come out their mouth. His father should not be there at all. What's his purpose of being there? It was intimidation, it was bullying, it was breaking the law of trespassing, and he definitely did not have a right to be there. I mean, was he trying to shut them up? Maybe. I don't know. Well, what was the purpose? We know it's not about standing up for your son being there in that space. It's a lot of tension there. It just wasn't a good idea. He got every right to grieve his son, but not in their space. That was their only time to speak. And they've had several interviews, the Metcalf family. And nobody interrupted them. And this family said they're never speaking again. They ain't, not until trial and stuff like that. If they speak then, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough ride. It's gonna be, yeah. I mean, y'all seen what happened to those twins that was headed out of town. I don't think they got that figured out yet. What possibly could have happened to them? Well, I mean, ain't that for the judge and the jury to decide, Danny? Mick Glone? Is that a play on Danny Glover? Yep, it's taught. And it's welcome. So I'm going to get out of here. I am not going to hold y'all no more. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please smack that thumbs up on the way out if you didn't get a chance to. And I appreciate y'all. We're going to get up out of here. Y'all have a good one. Jose, I don't know about you. Thanks, homegirl. Hit the thumbs up, Jose. Got a feeling you did. Gratitude. Thank you, Empress. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and hit notifications. There's another video that's gonna pop up if y'all hit the thumbs up on that. Leave a comment, hit the notification. Share this out, y'all. Peace and love, y'all. We out. What this thing doing what it wants. Yes, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you so much, BFF. Peace and love, y'all. We out again.